Hello everyone. Today, this is my English speaking practice, and today I'm talking about personal development. And today I want to start a new project. What's called Satan. Yeah. This is also board game, and Satan is a Catan inspired board game. Yeah. And this game has a lot of customizable features. So this game is inspired by Catan, and the game rule is based on the Catan, and I'm planning to add new features on Catan. Yeah. And also it's like it feels like customizable Catan. Yeah, I'm going to working on it, and this project is already generated by my tool. Yeah. Yeah, the tool is created by me before, and yeah, the code is generated from templated code. Yeah. And yeah, it is explained in my previous stream. Yeah. It's called Bodoge Builder, and I am setting up the project now. Yeah. So this is my fourth time to create my original board game, so I think it's gonna be good and fast to create. Briefly speaking, there are 4 directory: browser, server, debug tool, and playwright. And the application is on server and browser. Yeah, this is a simple structure, and also have a debug tool. This is a CLI tool to communicate the server. And playwright, this is a automation tool to fire up the application and set up the game for debugging. Yeah. And this is so similar to my previous game, Selfish. So if you watch my stream, if you have watched my stream, you can understand the structure easily. And today I'm going to finish the project setup. Yeah. So let me fire it up. It's yeah. The server and client is already running. So I try to run the game. Playwright. No. Yeah. it failed. It is good to it was good until creating room, but after that it tried to join the players, but it failed. The problem is unauthorized. The room is created successfully, but the test 2 player tried to join the room, but it's failed because unauthorized. So right now I'm going to fix it. Yep. And the problem is the test 2 and test 3 player doesn't have a valid key. In order to get a valid key, the player need to log in. I forget how to use this tool. Register and create a room and join the room. I see. So the need to register and the jot file is supposed to be stored for the player, so need to call register and I see. So I needed to rename this, and this name is used for jot file, and jot file stores the credentials. So the register, so can I npm run start of npm start Game CLI. Ah, I see. Start resistor. Name. Ah, player name. Test 2. Let me see the run game. This task is called, so I have to see this, and player 2 and player 3 is going to join. So in order to succeed this command, I need to prepare for it. Player 2 and player 3. Yes, so I just register player 2. Yeah, and 3 as well. JOT has been stored for this player, so I think that's fine. I think going well. It's going well. Let me run it again. Task playwright. Yeah. That's it. So I've succeeded to set up the game. Yeah, I of course I'm haven't worked on the implementation for this game, so yeah, game settings is blank, but yeah, that's fine. Nice. So I want to commit until now. I want to commit the changes until now because task playwright is succeeded. Okay, so I'd like to work on the implementation, but in this project I want to utilize the AI. Yeah, yesterday I talked about Kiro. It's a new version of AI powered IDE, but I'm waiting for it that's available to use for me. Yeah, right now I'm waiting, so I cannot use this. So I have only one choice to use Cursor, this editor. I'm wondering how to what is the best way to implement? Yeah. Yeah, but okay. This stream is English training, so I want to speak English more. And so I'm going to focus on, I'm going to spend a lot of time to define the requirements and designs. So before working on the coding, I will spend a lot of time to define the requirements and the design documentations with AI. So I will discuss with AI to define the requirements, and then decide the design, implementation design, and later on the implementation tasks should be generated. That should be a small size of, but many number of tasks, so that the AI can implement the task. So as my English training, I'm going to talk about the game rule. I need to describe it in English, and I have AI understand the game rules. So docs, and I'm going to create a folder by features. For example, feature 1, feature 2, like this. And each feature directory have requirements and designs and tasks. That's it. And right now I try to define the feature 1. So it is also important to divide the proper size of task, size of feature. So I'm deciding the first feature. It's a development phase rather than feature. So the first development target is Yeah, defining the type, defining types, right? Yeah, defining types is so important. All of the features which is going to be implemented after sorry, let me say it again. The all features which is supposed to be implemented after now is based on the types. So first of all, yeah, I decided to define the types. This is a feature one, so I'm going to define the requirements to define the types. It's a little bit complicated wording, nesting structure. But anyway, yeah, requirements is most important. Yeah, everything's gonna be based on the requirements. Let's define the types. And this is also helpful for you if you create your original board game, and if you want to use this framework. This stream is so helpful. I'm going to build from scratch. Yeah, from scratch, but the templated code is already generated, so you have to understand the templated code and how to use it. So yeah, okay, let's move on to types. And the types is where it is lives, logics, rules. Oh, where it is, I forget. Here, game. Yeah, this is the core logic of the game. So in the game directory there is a logic state, and ls logic state, game logic state is called ls. Yeah, and this is a template code for a sample game called what's called Sugoroku. So these properties are Sugoroku specific, so I have to remove these properties, but these properties can be used, maybe used. Yeah, for example, game settings is shown up in lobby room as you saw. Yeah, so in these objects you can define what properties the player can edit before starting the match. and game duration, turns, and settings for player. Yeah, this is also useful. For example, this property has a type like this, and every player have a deadline. Yeah, deadline means a time limit for each actions. So in the lobby room, the room owner can set the deadline for players. Yeah. 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 If you saw my stream previously, you can understand this meaning of this property. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to define the logical state. Logical state. Goal. Define the how to call this. Regarding less, leak, and tasks, this is different. These types have different roles. So in the first phase, yeah, I want to make this scope out. So I'm focus on this. And maybe I have to specify the file path. It's server and server source game logic state.ts, right? The goal is to build a Catan based board game. Called Satan. Yeah, and this is the very first step to build a Catan, to build Satan. And there is already a templated code base. The context like this. Yeah. requirements accept criteria. Like this. And right now I'm gonna discuss with AI, and I'm making up I'm making these documents. Yeah. So let me input by audio. I'm going to create a Catan based board game, and in order to do that, first of all, I want to define the types which is used for every features. So that's important, and I want to write down the requirements document for implementation. So I want to discuss with you to make it. That's it. The current implementation is a simple Sugorok board game with basic movement mechanics. The LS interface extends default game's logic state and currently have Sugorok specific properties. The goal is to transform this into a Catan-based board game called Satan. Let me create a comprehensive requirements document for implementing the Catan-based types and mechanics. Yeah. Oh no, looks nice, but I need to review it. Core game state types. The LS interface must include the following core game state properties. Hexagonal grid, replace the linear board cell with a hexagonal grid system. Tile types. Define different resource tile types. Forest, hills, mountains, fields, pastures, desert. Forest, hills, mountains, field, pastures. What is pastures? It's like a wheat. The place for wheat, right? This is Gyare. I forget the mountains. This is for trees, and this is for seeps. Yeah, I can understand this, and this is for I don't know how to say, but it's for the but I understand. Okay, Okay, and yeah, there are 6 type of tiles. And the tile states each tile should have resource type, number, token, and production state. Ports, special coastal tiles that provide trading benefits. Yeah. Player state extensions, resources, development goals, settlements, cities, roads, victory points, longest road, largest army. Current phase. Dice roll, rover, turn order. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. What is the year of plenty? The player can take any two types of cards. That's the year of plenty. And card effect, knight, move rover and steal from a player. Yeah, victory point. Road building, year of plenty, monopoly. Special game mechanics, criteria for acceptance. Rover system, rover placement and movement. Resource theft mechanics, production blocking on occupied tiles. Game flow management, trading, building. Action validation. Core types, game mechanics, advanced features, testing requirements. That's not bad. Not bad. But I have an idea. So I'm going to explain it to AI. Okay. That's not bad, but I want to make it customizable and so and also I want to calculate coding point, coordination. Yeah, I want to calculate coordination. But it's not. The design is it's not logical state. Let me think. The game state is Game parameters calculation logic state. Okay, I'm going to explain to AI. I'm not sure I can tell the AI, but let me try. Yeah. Thank you. That's not bad. But I have a idea that I want to make it customizable, so the player can extend the maps based on the number of players before the match. So such a information is gonna be included in game settings, and also there is need to calculate the coordination for front end, because the map is changing based on the settings, so the calculation of coordinate should be executed on the server side. Yeah, so I want to update the definition or requirements about logic state. This is server. Excellent idea. Making the map customizable based on the non-player count is a great feature that will make SATA more flexible and engaging. Let me update the requirements document to include these dynamic map generation and coordinate calculation features. So maybe today I cannot work on the coding, but that's fine. This is important process. Let me accept file before reviewing, and let me see the summary. I've updated the requirements document to include your excellent ideas for dynamic map generation and server-side coordinate calculation. Here are the key additions I've made. Dynamic map generation system, player count based sizing, configurable map sizing. Server side coordinate calculation hexagonal. Hexagonal. Yeah, that's good. I'm not sure this is accurate, but feels like nice. And the Catan is a famous board game, so these data structure gonna be good, should be fine. Yeah, so I have to care about these data types, yeah, which is added by my requests. But these interfaces not included in the game logic state. This expresses the process of calculation. So but I need to have AI understand my implementation design. So enhanced game settings. So for example, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to tell the AI, tell Gen AI. Thank you. You have a good understanding, but I want to tell you about game logic state. This is information for game state. So during the game, the information of game logic state is stored to the storage and also broadcasted to the client side. So regarding dynamic map generation system, this is a process for generating and calculating coordinate. So this is not related to game logic system. So I mean, this is scope out of these requirements. Yeah, do you understand? Correct. The LS interface should only contain the result of the map generation, like the final type positions calculate coordination, but not the generation. The map generation and coordination calculation are separate services that run during setup. Let me update the requirements to focus only on what should be there. This is not game logic state, but game load API documentation. No. But I want to confirm the current definitions like this. Map, players, global victory, trade history, development deck. Okay, I'll go with this. Looks good. Game logic state, and designs, tasks. And also I want to update the for client data types. That is defined in where? Here. Next game flow. I wanted to update this data structure. I think I can refine this structure to make it simple. But I don't have a specific ideas, so right now I'm go with this. And okay, in the requirements file, the almost all of designs are done. So mm, mm, mm. Okay, thank you. That's fine. And before implementation, let's create our designs. In the design file, you can define the logic state and its properties, meanings, and usage. You can write down in the file because this file is used for documentations. So the developer or AI agent can refer to this file when implementing something. Write down in the file. Looks nice. Perfect. I've created a comprehensive design document that serves as a complete reference for the LS interface and all its properties. This document includes complete interface definition, detailed property documentation, but actually writing the code in the document file is not good because this would be outdated in the future, because it's duplicated. So the code should be changed, but the documentation might be not changed. But right now I'm okay with this, and the example usage is nice, helpful. So I understand this is not good, but I will go with this right now. And the LS interface represents a complete game logic state for Satan and a Catan based board game. This state is stored in the game storage and broadcasted to all clients during gameplay. The state contains all necessary information to render the game, validate moves, and track game progress. Game settings. Yeah. That's so nice. So nice. The deadline is millisecond is also good. Okay. Game flow state. Can you understand this? Tracks the current phase of your time management. No, that's next game flow. Game flow is not. It's not. Say. Game phase is. Game flow state is not. Is not needed. I have a system to manage the game flow. It's called next game flow. Okay, thank you. But the game flow state is the game flow state flow game flow state is not needed because I have a data structure for managing game state, a game flow. Yeah, you can understand the data structure for next game flow. You can see the code. I'm not sure this I can make sense. It seems to understand. So I should have defined the types, all of the types at the same time. Because the AI tried to define the types, all of the types required. Oh, but AI can understand how to use it. That's so nice. Oh, I'm surprised. The AI can understand my framework. How to use my framework. Yes. Manage game flow, client communication, term validation, and time limits. This is a core system for controlling what actions are valid and when. Exactly. Request validation, and time limit. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm surprised because you can understand my original framework to build a board game completely. So I want you to define the types in the logic state TS file. Logic state TS file. Oh, it have a good insight. Yeah. That's nice. And I believe I believe this type definition is good. So I will go with this without checking carefully. Yeah. Define logic state. Define other types. No need task file. Requirements.md and designs.md. This is good. This is good for my English speaking practice. Yeah, I like this way. So right now I'm working on defining other types. It's such as request, response, tasks. And in the designs file, I want to gen AI to explain how to use these types. So the requirements is not difficult because there is already designed that they are already defined, so they can realize what I want. They can realize what I want. So how to write Goal and context. Define other those types is defined how to say is defined created for integration with my framework for building so the requirements. Maybe I can finish this file by myself. So 1, 2, 3. Rec less rec This is used for the request from client, and there are two types of request simple and simple type request is handled by event handler and which generates task. Some task. No. Handled by task handler. Yeah. Is converted to task directory. This is design. So the requirements is defining types such should apply, adapt, adjust. Framework. It should adjust the framework existing code base. It means you should understand how it works, and also that's it. Design context. Context. Existing code base requires those types to be defined properly. Okay. And I want to move on the next task, that is define other types. So you can design the request, response, and the tasks. Yeah. And right now, I want you to understand and describe how those types works. And existing code requires those types to be defined properly, so you can read the code base and understand it and document it in the designs file. Let me check your understanding. Okay. I've created a comprehensive design document that explains how the list tasks types work in your framework. Here is a summary of what I've documented. 3-layer communication system, client to server requests and server to client response. Yeah. Tasks, internal server actions for state updates. Right. Framework flow understanding. Simple requests automatically converted to tasks. Oh, where you read? Where did you read? Okay. Okay, I see. Correct. And task custom processed by custom event handlers. Yes, correct. The required responses actions client must perform with the limits. Yes, notified informational updates only. Yes. And type safety mechanism. Request validation, game flow request validation, task validation through task validation. Utility types for payload extraction. Yes. And exhaustive type checking with never types. Exactly. And time limit system. Time limit default actions executed when time expires. Heartbeat systems for time monitoring. Perfect. And client server patterns. Required types needed. Roll dice. Place settlement. Place city. Place road. Trade. Response types needed. Yeah. Looks nice, but I'm gonna read it. This is so important. Types forms the core communication and action system in the board game framework. They handle client-server communication, game state updates, and action execution in a type-safe manner. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Simple requests automatically converted to tasks without custom logic, used for straightforward actions that don't need complex processing. Example, change game settings, directory updates the game settings. Yes, exactly. And custom requests require custom event handlers to process, used for complex actions that need game logic. Roll dice needs to generate random numbers and update game state. Roll dice is the custom is correct. Roll dice should have custom types, but the reason is not correct. The reason is like when the player rolls the dice, the action the player should take would change based on the dice. Yeah, for example, if the player get 7, the player need to move your rubber. I don't know. So yeah, I want to edit this sentence. to switch the tasks to generate need to switch the tasks to generate according to the value of dice. Right. Roll the dice. Let me think. Roll the dice. And oh, sorry. Roll the dice and I think this is correct. When the value is 7, this is correct. Yeah. So here is the correction. And move on next. Request payload requirements. All request payload must extend rec payload. Yeah, and response types defines all possible server to client communications, including required actions and notifications. And the rest is a map where each key represents a response type and each value is either require or notify, like this. Yes. And require actions that the client must perform and have time limits and default actions if not completed. Used for turn-based actions like rolling dice, placing buildings. But rolling dice is always required, but how about placing buildings? Because the player is not forced to place buildings during the game, right? The player have a time to think, and if the player wants, the player can place building. Yeah. So that's not required actions. The player is so let me think. Let's think about the situation where the player rolls the dice and player get the resources based on the dice. After that, the player have resources and player have multiple options in their turn, and so the player can building rows or placing buildings or purchasing the event cards, like this. So or nothing. So the required action would be like something including all of actions the player can take. Make sense? So the name of required action would be like more general. It's yeah. It's it's do something. Do something is like is a actual name, and the player can choose the type of actions, right? Building roads, or placing buildings, or purchasing cars. And request it, and then yeah, that's it. That's it. That is usage of require types. Yeah. Notify is correct. And task types defines internal server actions that can be executed to update game state. Yes, exactly. Task is a map where each key represents a task type and each value is the task payload. Right. Framework integration and flow. Correct. Task generation logic. Perfect. This is not correct. Actually not correct, but this is just example, right? It's not good, but okay. Response generation. Wow, that's nice. Totally understand it. That's nice. Task validation and request validation. Client request pattern. Server response pattern. Client response handling. Okay, so nice. And default action execution is like this. Yeah, almost perfect, but I think these requests should be simple type, because roll dice is custom, but these request is just requesting a kind of order, so there is no complicated process, right? Yeah. Task types. Yeah, so as my English training, let me try to tell AI how to what first to correct I'm not sure I can make sense, but I will try it. You understand almost all of the framework. That's nice. But I have some place to correct. For example, regarding custom type. As an example, roll dice. That should be with custom type. That is why it needs to switch the tasks to generate according to the value of dice. Let's think the situation where the player get 7 of the dice value. In the situation, player needs to move lower. Does it make sense? So the game flow would be changes. Let me fix it. It needs to switch the tasks to generate according to the dice of value. Let's think the situation where the player get a 7 as this value. Player. In that case, player needs to move lower. Game low be changed, and tasks to be generated. It means therefore the cost Excellent point. You are absolutely right. I misunderstood the key difference between simple and custom requests. Let me correct my understanding. That's right. Let me update the design document to reflect this correct understanding. Let me also update the task generation section to reflect this understanding. Let me see your understanding. Simple requests, fixed task sequences, always generate the same tasks regardless of outcome. Yes, custom requests, dynamic task generation. Place building? Why place building? Requests that should be custom. Placement validity. 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 I have an opinion. I have opinions about some request types, like place settlement, place city, and place load. You mentioned about validity. But I think the validation can be taken place in the task handler. So I think there is no need to make these types custom, right? And then I have a plan to implement. Let's think about the situation when the player rolled the dice and the player got the resources. At the time, the player have multiple options. For example, player can choose place settlement or place road. So I think the request type would be do something, and it with custom type. With these types, we can define the event handler. And in the handler, we can generate tasks based on the event. Does it make sense? For example, the do something type have a field that is decided by player. Such as place settlement or place road. That's it. Can you tell me your understanding now? What is do something and it with we can define the event handler. We can generate tasks based on it. Does it make sense? For example, the do something type have a field that is decided by player such as president. That's it. Player. Yeah, instead of separate request types for each action, use a single do something request, and the do something request contains a field indicating what the player choose to do. Yes, exactly. How about move rover? Move rover is I think move rover can be simple because it just processing a move rover process. Can you update the design file? Let me see. These requests not needed, right? Right. Why do you think the place settlement is needed? As I explained, the do something type should have options player choose to do. So I think those types such as place settlement, place city, and place road don't need to be defined in request types. Correct. That's correct. I think end turn should be included in do something. Do something. Oh, included. Execute trade. Looks nice. The task definition is almost perfect. Next, what should I do next? Implement task handler or event handler, or game settings, or state initialization. Initialize game state. Yeah. join initialize game state and join do. Okay. Okay, so let's design the process until start game. So I should design initialize game state and join room and start game. So the feature name would be starting game. Define. Imply. Before starting to implement the main game logic, I'd like to implement a process until game starting. You can understand what to implement for a process of starting game. The game rule interface defines 3 functions for starting game. That is called initialize game state, join room, and start game. So right now I want to write down the requirements file and also discuss about it with you. So can you help me defining requirements? Oh, creating design.md. Let me see. Implement the complete game startup process for Saturn, covering the three main functions. Framework defines a game rule interface with three essential functions for game startups. Initialize game state creates initial game state with parameters. Join rooms handles player joining to a room. Start game transition from lobby to active gameplay. Correct. These functions are called in sequence to establish a complete game session. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. This is not correct. The next game flow is no need to mention. Lobby state configuration. That's not good. The AI doesn't seem to recognize the game logic state. Yeah. That's not good because you seems not to recognize logic state you have defined today. So, I mean, in the initialize game state function, you should initialize the game logic state, what's called LS. So, can you update your understanding and documentation? Yeah, like this. tile generation algorithm. Error handling testing. How about current? So basically, in this function, should calculate the coordinate for map. Yeah, and also should execute like this, initialize player states or and client data or like this. I should read this. Before doing this, I'd like to commit I should review this. Game state initialization. Player state creation. Correct. New joiner. Updating ls and return new state and game starting. Validations, player setup, board generation, game flow setup, client state phase. Oh, perfect. This is nicer than me. Yeah. the board size would be yeah, 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 yeah. So the game settings. The game settings is map size, player count, custom properties. Start game settings. Start game settings. I understand. I understand. Starting in the starting phase. Okay. That's almost perfect. But I have one correction. In the start game function, the game settings might be updated, and so the setup phases should be taken place based on the game settings. So you should implement validation phase at first, and then start the setup phase, and those phase should be executed with game settings. The correction in the start game function. face face face. Okay. Okay. I think that's good. I believe that's good. So today I'm going to finish, and yeah, I'm satisfied with this way to implement and design, because this is good for my English practice. Yeah, I have a lot of opportunity to speak in English. Yeah, and audio input is also good. Sometimes I mispronounced it, so that's a problem, but I think this is good. I should improve my pronunciation. And this, I like this way to design. So I'm going with this. And Catan is famous board game, so the AI generate correct, accurate, proper code. Yeah, so I think I can create it in a good quality. Yeah, but today I'm tired, so I'm finishing. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.